Howdy, partner. Welcome to one of the most northern parts of the United States of America. Travel with me upriver as we talk to a bunch of ladies and fellers and they share their tales of wit and wisdom. That's right, it's time again for Skagit Storytellers.
With Liz Duffy. Let's start at the beginning. Are you from here?
Yeah, I was born in Skagit, and I lived in a double-wide trailer up on Starboard Road for a while, and then a house in Cedar Woolley on State Street, haunted house.
Haunted?
Yeah, still there. It's I'm not sure how to best describe it, but usually has a bunch of cars parked on the lawn, although I suppose that's not specific enough for Cedar Woolley. But it's still there on State Street, haunted house, yeah.
So did you know it was haunted, or
Yeah.
were you...
As a kid, yeah.
Oh,
Even
like,
as a kid.
people knew that? You live in the haunted house, or like you just experienced it yourself?
No, we experienced it and knew it. No one told us this. No.
Really?
Yeah, even as I think I was there till 6 is when we moved to the farm in Big Lake. So like, I don't know, 1 to 6 or 2 to 6, something like that. Never went in the basement. Like, even if I was alone, I would walk to the stairs and have that feeling of like, don't go down there. That's scary. I would get scared by standing at the top of the stairs, and I wouldn't go into the basement.
Was it unfinished?
No, finished,
Okay.
Fully finished, painted, drywall, carpet. Usually was rented, or people who previously owned the house would use it for living space or something. We didn't put anything down there.
Wow.
Maybe eventually we put one guest room. We had a nanny for a little bit, babysitter gal. I think she moved. I was really young, but I'm pretty sure she moved in there for a little while to live down there and then help take care of Nate and I.
But you said you were pretty young and you had this feeling like...
Oh, I knew, yeah.
You knew. But
yeah.
Did your parents know? Were they like,
they had
you're crazy,
experiences.
Zach?
No. Well,
Okay.
I was too young to articulate anything
Yeah.
like that. But I just would not go to the basement and would get creeped out. Going upstairs was really creepy. You get that feeling someone's watching you. Or as you walk down the stairs, you kind of turn around and be like, what? No one's behind me. Yeah, you get those kinds of feelings. My parents would have things. One time, my dad was alone. He woke up in the middle of the night just in a sweat with just feeling that someone's in the room watching him.
Oh, my gosh.
A lot of that. And then as we moved out and then renovated it and sold it, and during the renovations, the folks that were our friends that were working there had all kinds of crazy stories. So.
Oh, while they were doing renovations.
Yeah, apparition, seeing things. And then I looked up the history and... we're trying to find out who this person that everyone was seeing is.
The previous owners?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you figure it out? Did you find out that someone died in the house? Or
No, I haven't seen that, but for a while I was doing research on my family history, both sides, parents and so part of it was I was like looking into this house, and they did have some records at the museum. They have a whole record for the town and stuff in the museum, the Cedar Museum. And they got back to me and said they had some stuff on the house that's not available on the public records, this county record site, because it's kind of too old. But I haven't met with them. That was a while ago, and I got busy doing other things. And then,
you're like, after my wedding, I'm going to come in.
Yeah.
Check
Now that
out.
I'm free, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in a haunted house.
Oh, I got my dad's side has a bunch of old houses. There's I've spent a lot of time in haunted houses.
Oh, so this like runs in your family. It's not just the one.
It was a coincidence that my dad happened to buy one. He comes from a family that's been in the Chicago area for a long time, and one of the first guys that moved out there from his side of the family built a house that's still a family house. Let's see, it's probably 115 years old at this point, maybe 120 something years. And yeah, it's, family. And then, they've just been around so a lot of family members have passed away in these houses as well, so yeah, there's a lot.
I wonder if it's possible that all houses are haunted, but certain people are more attuned to it.
It could be. From my experience, there's some more than others.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Do you feel like you've walked into like a friend's house and you're like, whoa,
Yeah, I've walked into houses and been like, "Whoa, this is weird."
Don't answer.
Something
Don't tell
else.
me about this house. I don't
No,
want to
no,
know.
I haven't. But yeah.
Have you written a song about any of this?
Probably in some sort of a way that I subconsciously. I did, I think, specifically start writing a song that was about like my dad's side of the family and all the haunted houses and stuff. I never finished it. I don't. It's voice memo and some notes somewhere that has lyrics and a melody. But yeah.
So your dad's family is from Chicago.
Yep.
Where's your mom's family from?
Kind of all around. She grew up largely in Wyoming and Montana.
How did they meet?
My parents?
Yeah.
University of Montana, I believe, Missoula. Yeah, my mom ended up being, among other things, a dog trainer, so animal behaviorist is, and my dad was an environmental scientist.
Yeah.
So,
Are they
yeah.
still around?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They're at your wedding.
They're actually upstairs. I brought them along too if you want. I bring my whole family to all the podcast interviews.
All the
Got
farm
grandma
animals.
up there too. Yeah, the pigs are up there waiting.
I like asking, how people got to this area. Like, how'd you get here right now? But I think it's interesting when sometimes I'll say, how did your parents meet? And then you see the fear on some faces going, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay.
It's a good question.
Go ask them.
Yeah.
And your wife's name is Kim?
Yep.
How'd you meet her?
Online. Yeah.
How long have you guys been
dating app.
together?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Is she a musician as well?
No, but she is a music lover. Yeah. And she comes on the road and does the Coinca merch.
Oh,
when
nice.
we do shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did Coinca stop then?
We haven't officially stopped. We're kind of in.
You're just all busy.
We're busy and we have partially written and are working on a new album.
Oh, great. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep. And so it's about finding the right time to record it and then do all the other things, the music video, the promo, the tours, all that kind of stuff with it.
Yeah.
Finding a time that we're all ready to do this because it's, it's a years long project between recording and putting it out and then promoting it and then doing shows in support of it and all that stuff. I think everyone having done a bunch of albums knows all the mountain of work, and we need to make sure that everyone's ready, in a place to do that. Because we don't want to go into the studio, do some tracks, and then not be able to do anything with it. We want to go bring it to people and have a show that we can go take out on the road and everything. So
well, that's great. So my dream of the enthusiasts and Cuenca
It's a
could
possibility.
happen.
Yes.
Arcadian Public House.
There we go. We can make it happen.
February 2nd, my birthday.
This is the show announcement right here. Tickets on sale tomorrow.
When you were saying, it takes a long time to get all this stuff together, you also have to factor in, the fact that how many people are in your band?
5 at least.
Okay. And you're all adults
Yeah, in our 30s.
with
yeah.
full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Kids?
No one has kids yet.
Okay.
No. But
It's
we
coming.
all have it's coming eventually, yeah. Miranda works in the podcast scene as well. She works on a few podcasts as a producer and an editor.
Oh, cool.
That's her job. Michelle works at a law office. Kaylee, our bass player, has a bartending gig and then is also a session musician and plays in bands and goes all over the place playing. And then Nate has his project as well, and he's on the farm as well. So,
Yeah, finding time for all those people
to get
together to record, to go on tour.
Yeah.
The stars have to align, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there, but.
Is Nate your brother?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, yeah, because you mentioned him in the haunted house.
Yes. Yeah, and he's in the
Yeah.
band, the
Okay.
Coinca band with me, and then he has his own project with his wife, Sophia. It's called Babes in Canyon.
Oh,
And they travel all over the country to play and do music, and they've done shows with Coinca as well. So sometimes we do a joint family band.
is
family
he
show.
older, younger?
3 years younger.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were always doing some sort of project, whether it was filming, home movies, filming each other, acting out plays and stuff, and playing music since we were really young. And we started playing together When I was about 15 or 16, Nate was 12 or 13, we started professionally playing. We'd go do backyard parties or something, or started playing coffee shop type stuff.
Like, what instruments would you guys play?
I played guitar and harmonica, and Nate did the mandolin for a while at first, but pretty quickly moved to the ukulele, which is
okay.
he plays both of those still.
Okay.
So yeah, and
what was your like brother band name?
it's called the Hamer Brothers.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's perfect. That's
yeah.
what you are.
and when Kawinka started, we had other names. We were Brer Rabbit for a while, then Wild Rabbit. There was a whole lawsuit thing. It's a whole nother
like
podcast.
Someone sued you because of those names?
Oh yeah. We were Brer Rabbit. So we met with Miranda. She joined the band, and we couldn't be the Hamer Brothers, so we had to, so we were.
How did she join the band? Like, how do you know her?
She was from Mount Vernon and had moved to New York to do theater. They had flown her out she was one of the final 3 Mary Janes for the Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark musical.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember. This was a while ago now. This is 15 years ago or something. But there was a Spider-Man musical. So she was doing auditions, and then before she was out of high school, she was going to New York to do these auditions. So as soon as she was done, she moved there to do theater. I had moved there to do a film internship, and then Nate had come out shortly after to go to college. So we were all out there and thought, we should meet up because we're all from Mount Vernon. We're all in New York, trying to make it. We met up with Miranda the day that she had broken up with her boyfriend and was like, forget this. I'm going home. New York sucks. Going back to Washington. We connected with her like a couple hours before her flight, not knowing that she was like in this huge crisis and her life was falling apart and she didn't have any place to stay. And so we met with her and kind of connected, but it was like, hi, bye, basically. And then a couple weeks later, was also like, I'm going to go back to Washington, forget New York. And then Miranda and I started playing together. I would get some emails like, do the Hamer Brothers want to play? And I'd be like, no, but I could do this. So we did that for a while.
So you had come back.
I had come back, yeah, and then was getting Hamer Brother gig offers and instead was showing up with Miranda and no other brother. And then Nate finished school and came back, and then we said, let's throw him in, to our little Hamer Brother quote-unquote band. So then we had to come up with a different name. Came up with Brer Rabbit, which means Brother Rabbit. And we did that for a year or so, and then we were putting out our first real album, full-length album, and we thought, we were working with a publicist, and they advised maybe change your name because, there was an artist with Brer Rabbit out there, and there's Disney has connection to it, and there's a molasses company, so there's things with the name, and maybe you don't want to step in something inadvertently, change your name so you can avoid, some kind of problem down the road. So we did, even though everyone said, don't change your name. It's like you're going to destroy your band, right? No one's going to know who you are. No one's going to buy tickets or whatever. And we're like, well, you kind of don't have a choice, so let's change your name. Change it to Wild Rabbit. Okay, great. Put the album out. Did a tour on the album all around the country. We were in Texas. We playing some shows in the Austin area, some venues, some like farmers markets, a bunch of different stuff. Get home. A couple weeks later, we get an email from an attorney in Texas that says, just so you know, on my court reporter, I'm seeing your guys' name come, great show. Saw you a couple weeks ago. By the way, you probably don't know this because it just came through here in Texas. You're being sued.
Oh my gosh.
And so, a couple days later, we get a big old fat stack of papers in the mail. It was like a 10 or 20 page lawsuit, $100,000 he wanted, our name, all of our music, blah, 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 blah. Because he was, well, okay, I'm not going to say the name of the other band because we have settled, but I won't say the name of the other
I
band.
can cut it out.
I think this is all fine.
Okay.
I'm also just realizing that it's over, but we settled, and so there's rules in the settlement that I'm supposed to follow. I don't want to
So they didn't even say stop using the name, please, or we'll
We got
sue
cease
you?
and desists earlier on, and
Okay.
we were just like, these names are not that similar. You're
Oh,
in
it
Texas,
wasn't the
we're in
exact
Wash-"
name.
No,
Oh,
no,
I get
it was
it.
not
Okay.
the exact name. However, they have since assimilated to our former name,
Got it. Okay.
which we figured that that's kind of what they were wanting. It was partly like the lawsuit claimed that there was, name confusion, and so they felt that we owed them like $100,000 for some reason, and that CD sales and ticket sales. But looking at the metrics of the bands, that it was not like we were not taking their music, their CD sales or their ticket sales or whatever. In
People
our
knew
opinion,
the difference between the two bands.
in my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in their opinion, no, they didn't. So that's why this came. And it was a federal lawsuit, so we needed an attorney in Texas, even though we were in Washington. We had a Washington attorney, but he couldn't represent us for the case because they had sued us in Texas. So this whole thing lasted years, and we had to change our name several times, which is where we eventually landed on Coinca. So it's all the same. From the Brer Rabbit, it's all the same people. We just we changed our name to get out of an issue.
Yeah.
And it stepped us into this issue inadvertently. Then we had to change it again
Wow.
to get out of it.
So where did Cuenca come from?
It's Finnish, and it means how.
And you're like, no one has ever used this name.
No one has ever used the name. And we had a connection to Finland through several things, but part of it was when we first started playing as a band. Miranda's best good friend is Finnish and from Finland, and we would sleep on our floor in her Bellingham house after our shows. And Miranda knows some Finnish and has traveled and everything. So there's a pretty strong connection to the band. And we were looking at other languages because we're like, forget English. I mean,
We're
especially
done with you,
these days,
English.
think of a word and there's 5 bands,
Yeah.
and then
That's a good point.
the issue is also usually, I mean, there's common law where we have some legal footing. If you're just selling your merch and you haven't gotten it copywritten, you still have a legal standing to the name because it's out there and you're doing commerce with it, whatever. I don't know where I was going with that.
We were talking about why you chose Cuenca.
Yeah. All that to say, with the English words, because we ran into the issue of, in our opinion, it wasn't really similar. There wasn't a confusion. It seemed so... The levels that we were at in our career seemed so drastically different that it didn't seem like we were on different tracks. We weren't colliding. We weren't at the same venues. We weren't doing the same sessions. We weren't going to the same places. We weren't doing similar tours. They didn't leave the area. So it wasn't in our minds. So we also didn't want to inadvertently, look up a band. Oh, they have 5 followers on Spotify. Not an issue, right? Well, that's what we thought last time. So we wanted to just totally have something that wasn't anyone's anything, or even a couple of words that someone else had, because that also was a problem last time. So yeah, we went totally different language.
No, that's smart. I think that's good advice for the up-and-comer bands.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1 in a million. It's literally absurd that it happened. And we were told, which is why we kind of flushed the cease and desist, was because it was our attorney was like, no way. What? There's no way they're going to sue you. They're just mad and they're trying to scare you. They want you to do something without any of the work, where they just bully you and make you change. And then they can go, great, we didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And we said no. And 1 in a million, we got it. So it's usually not an issue. And I'm happy to share a name with whoever. I would never sue anyone over a name, having had it happen to me,
When I lived in New Zealand for a year, and I bought a car off my friend, and so he gave me the keys. He's like, yeah, it's parked down by the college. And so I went and picked it up after work. It was really busy. There was cars everywhere. I found it. Key kind of stuck a bit, whatever, no big deal. I got in, had it for 3 days. I was at work. My buddy called, hey, how's the car? I'm like, great. Hey, by the way, there's a bunch of food in the trunk. He's like, really? I thought my wife cleaned it out. I'm like, no, it's grocery bags. He's like, well, I mean, you can keep it or toss it. It's weird. I thought she cleaned it out, but yeah, I guess just toss it. I'm like, okay. Calls back 5 minutes later. He's like, my manager answered, and he's looking at me with these wide eyes. He's like,
that's not
Lizzie,
the car.
I think you have the wrong car. And I was like,
my
what? So I
gosh.
got on the phone. He's like, she cleaned it out, Liz. Like, that's not the car. I'm like, it has to be. I ran down. There was a Sunday, completely empty college parking lot, except for in the very back. I got my car from the front. Very back, identical car is sitting there.
Wow.
One's called a Honda Legend and one was called a Honda Vigor, but exact same car. Like the whole thing you said, 1 in a million, right?
Yeah.
Parked it beside, got in the other car, opened no problem, started it, drove away. Okay, no one needs to know. Like nothing happened. I used a little bit of gas, whatever. So then my friends are all like, you got to call the police, Liz. I'm like, what am I going to say?
I
So
accidentally stole a car.
I call the police. They're like, Nelson Police. I'm like, I don't really know who I need to talk to. And I would tell the story and they kept transferring me and eventually talked to some guy. And I got a call back. He's like, okay, we talked to the owner and he wants to sue you because he said all these fake things. Like he
Right.
had to rent a car for 3 days, which cost him $1,000. He said I wrecked his radio. I used all his gas, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm on a work visa. I'm like freaking out. I don't know what's happening. And they calling me at work and telling me all this stuff. And my bosses are like, you tell that guy to come down here. Like they're being so protective. And
Yeah.
I'm just like on
my
edge. Like I don't
gosh.
know what to do. And anyway, it was funny too because my roommate was like, wait, cops showed up at our house? I was like, no, they just called and we talked. And she's like, oh, good. Like this is in 2006. And she's like, oh, thank God. I was like, why? What's the big deal? She's like, we're growing pot in the backyard. I'm like, we are? I'm so dumb. I'm so naive. I was like, where? She's like, under your window.
That's funny.
Anyway,
Oh
so
my gosh.
I was there for like maybe 5 more months after that. My sister showed up. I'm from Canada. My sister showed up from Vancouver Island with her husband and we drove around. It was great. And then I sold the car to a friend. So I'm like about to leave. It's like my second to last day in Nelson. And I and I've been worried about the car I'm more just waiting for papers,
Yeah.
and I'm like waiting for this guy to sue me. And I don't know. So I'm just like, it's always in the back of my head. And it was 2 days before I'm leaving. I'm checking the mail and I get this envelope that says, it's from Civic House. And I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm not going to make my flight. I'm going to be in jail. I'm like picturing all the worst case scenario. My hands are shaking. And I open the envelope. It was an overdue library book.
That's funny.
I'm like, get me out of this country. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I mean, I loved it. It was probably my favorite place I've been to, but man, that was so stressful.
Have you been back since?
No, I was going to go back. So I went to Korea first, and then I went to New Zealand, and then I went to the Middle East, and then I went back to Korea, and I was going to go back to New Zealand, but I met Olive's dad and moved here. So
There could be an arrest warrant there for
Oh,
you.
God.
You should check ahead of time.
I can't go
Someone's
back.
gonna be waiting for you at the airport.
Well, I've changed my name a couple times
Okay,
since
there we
then,
go.
so hopefully that's
There
why I
we go.
keep getting remarried. That's why.
Yeah. We'll never find you.
No, so you mentioned your name, and I'm just getting a flashback too of. So you've played in Mount Vernon before. Have you played any of those like Riverwalk shows? Like,
Yep.
Okay, did Wild Rabbit play a show in like 2015, 2016 on the Riverwalk?
Sounds about right.
Okay, I've met either you or someone in your band.
Yeah.
Did you guys have business cards that had seeds in them?
Yep.
I remember getting a business card and telling my boss, like, because they were all about like, natural food and stuff. I'm like, Karen, look at this. We have to do this. And she's like, this is a really good idea. So she looked it up. She's like, Liz, do you know how much these cost? Because obviously as a business, they have to order a lot of cards.
Yeah.
She's like, we can't do this.
Yeah, they're over $1 each, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I'm trying to think of who I would have met someone in your band.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe that was the first time we
It
met.
could have been me.
Who knows? 10 years later, we meet again.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are I was going to say your progression of your bands, but it was just one band.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hammer Brothers. And then
Yep.
when you say that you were touring, like, well, where would you guys go? Are you going worldwide, nationwide? How long are you gone for?
We mostly in the U.S. We've did some stuff in Mexico, but that was kind of like playing on vacation. We've done lots of tours coast to coast. In 2017, 2018, we put out an EP called Stay Up Late, and it was received very well, and we did 2 headlining national tours that year. We went out to New York and back twice.
Are you hitting spots along the way, or you just went to New York?
No. We play every night along the way. We probably played in every city.
Wow.
In America. Yeah. I mean, we would do 8-week, 9-week tours where we would play 6 to 7 nights a week. Yeah. Right in the towards the end of the 2010s, we were doing close to 300 shows a year.
So you guys were full-time.
Over 250. Oh, yeah.
Full-time musicians.
Yep. We all lived in a house in Bellingham together. Big band house. And, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And we were playing somewhere every night.
So going from that 300 shows a year to, like, how I guess, what happened? COVID? That's what a lot of people say.
COVID was a big part of it. So we did those 2 coast-to-coast tours in a year. One of them was in the winter, which was interesting to drive over every mountain range in America on your way in January. That was for Tiny Desk. So we were happy to do it, but we had to get out there in the winter, I think is when it was.
So that's a tour, the Tiny Desk tour?
We made it a tour.
Okay.
Like I told you, we met Bob.
Is he like the founder of Tiny Desk?
Yeah, Bob Boylan was the music critic for NPR and created Tiny Desk. He's retired since he doesn't work. He doesn't do it anymore. But it was his thing. Like, he would meet the bands in the NPR East headquarters parking lot and help you carry your stuff to the. I mean, he was a huge tastemaker. If you got Bob's approval, that was a huge deal. So we met him on that Stay Up Late album cycle. Like I said, we they do the Tiny Desk contest each year where you.
Oh, I didn't know there was a contest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They started doing that a couple years ago, and they would get bands that wouldn't normally, because usually it's uber famous bands, and then you do your stripped down acoustic kind of a thing that people don't see. But then they thought, let's open it up to one totally unknown act gets to come do a Tiny Desk as a competition. So we entered every year that they started doing it, and we would get nods. They'd make a compilation and use a second of our video in it, and we'd go, oh, look, we made the thing. But we never won. And so the year that Tank and the Bangas won, we were asked to do the Tiny Desk tour, which the winning band goes around the country and does a bunch of shows, and that's kind of how they start their celebration of winning or whatever. So they asked a couple of the Washington, nods that they gave or whatever come be support for the Tank and the Bangas show.
Got it.
And so each state they go in, they ask 2 or 3 folks that they really liked that entered to be support for the winning act. But that was one of the one shows that Tank and the Bangas couldn't actually do. So we were the headliner because there were other acts, but we were the last band playing because it was there was one other one they couldn't do. They were doing something else. It was a scheduling thing, so they didn't show up for their show.
What was the other Washington band that you played with?
I don't remember.
Okay. They're not still around.
Sorry, they might be. It's probably someone famous or something.
They're so famous you don't remember.
So famous I don't remember. I'm so sorry. So we were playing and it was in KEXP. Was it their headquarters or what? In Seattle Center, there's a KEXP office or storefront or something. It was in that. So it wasn't a huge building. It was kind of small. Wasn't a lot of people there because the headliner wasn't coming. And but Bob was there and just sat down crisscross applesauce right in front of the stage to watch us. And we were like, oh, my God, super nervous because this is, for us, it'd be, like any of your heroes sitting down in front of you to watch your show. So we played the Stay Up Late EP, and our manager was there specifically because we were hoping to connect with Bob, person to person. And he went over and chatted up Bob, and Bob was loved it. Let's get him to come do a Tiny Desk, which, is outside of, it was either supposed to be a contest or you're famous, but usually you don't just chat with Bob, and he invites you to do it. So, yeah, that's what started. So then we booked our tiny desk where you have to go to the, offices and do the whole thing. So we made a tour out of going there and back because it's in D.C.
Got it.
And we thought if we're going to get all the way out there, let's play our way there and play our way back. So that was the first of what became 2 trips out to New York.
And are you just playing bars? Any
There
kind
were
of
venues.
venue?
No, those tours
theater?
those tours were venues, tickets and venues.
Yeah.
When we had a booking agent and a manager and all that stuff, so it wasn't the band, it was, and the gal at the time, we've switched, or she left the agency, but it was one of the bigger booking agencies. So also just having that letterhead, that name on the email was kind of like helped. But then, saying that we're going out to play Tiny Desk, every venue was like, what day you want?
Yeah.
So
just name drop that.
It really helped, so we played wherever we
That's
wanted,
great.
basically.
Where did you guys record all your stuff?
A lot of it we did at Bear Creek,
Is that in
outside of Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's kind of a world famous folk studio. It started like in the grunge scene, with like Soundgarden. The Hadlocks own it, and so Ryan, the second generation Hadlock, when he took it over, it kind of shifted more to folk, and people come from all over the world to do stuff there. I'm trying to think, like Fleet Foxes did a record. Vance Joy was doing a record from New Zealand or Australia, New Zealand.
Vance Joy?
New Zealand.
I don't know.
New Zealand, I think.
Yeah.
He was out there doing a record when we were doing one. I'm trying to think of all the other, basically everyone. The Shins, Modest Mouse, the drums for Float On were done in the Bear Creek drum room. That's the only, there's a whole story behind the Modest Mouse Bear Creek session. They were there to do the whole record, and the band like broke up and fell apart, and all they got was the drums for Float On at Bear Creek. And then they were like, they had to leave, and it was a whole thing before they were able to finish the record.
Wow.
And you can hear at the very end of Float On, you can hear the drummer stand up from the drums, and the drum throne kind of creaks and steps away. And
No.
yeah. So but that was all they got at Bear Creek. The rest was done somewhere. It was a very famous drum room because it's an old converted barn, very high ceilings, old wood. They have a big live room, and people come from all over. It's very expensive.
I was asking. I was
from
thinking.
all over to do it. It's.
Did you guys pick that place because
of who else had all of the Lumineers did their Ho Hey record there.
Really?
So the folk
Oh, that's cool.
place. And our producer engineer, Jerry, was the head engineer at the time at Bear Creek. And he engineered the Ho Hey record and worked on all those stuff. So it was fun to connect with him. And he has done, I think, every Coinka record that we've done. He's engineered and produced.
Do you think that you'll record your solo Forest Stoke album at Bear Creek, or?
Maybe some. I took Jerry, and he lived in Portland, Maine for a while during COVID, and started a studio there. So we did 2 tracks at his old studio in Portland, Maine.
That's where you did your.
That's Radio Dial, and I have another one coming out September 24th, I think. So sad.
Oh yeah, you played it at Yeah.
At the festival, yeah.
Yes, I remember thinking, we're going to play this. This is good.
Yeah, we did those 2 tracks in April, I think.
Did you go out there?
Yeah, we went out and spent a week in Portland, Maine. It was really fun.
What's it like out there? Is it similar to here?
Yeah, it's seaside. It's a lot like Port Townsend, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right on the water. A lot of seagulls, a lot of really old buildings, cobblestone streets. We stayed right on the water, and I walked to the studio every day.
Oh, nice.
And it was a really cool vibe. Loved the lobster. Lots of great seafood. I would. It's called Prism Analog Studios in Portland, Maine. Look it up if you're ever out there. They do some live shows too, but
oh, neat.
The whole point is that it's analog, so they have a lot of analog synth, and they got a Leslie speaker and a Hammond B3. All kinds of keyboards, pianos, guitars, banjos, and then they have a tape machine, a couple reel-to-reels, if you want to do that. So
do you know Pete Rubel? He's a Bellingham musician.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He does analog, like reel to reel.
Nice.
Because we were talking about, we're always telling our friends like, hey, if you want to record something, and he's like, I actually do it this way, and he explained how he does it. I'm like, wait, like there's a reel going, and he's like, yeah, and then I have to stop and go back, and then I have to. I was like, you do this right now? Like this wasn't 10 years ago. He's like, no, I did it yesterday. What?
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of the instruments too.
Yeah.
And so just learning how he does all that is just mind blowing. Like I thought Pro Tools was hard. This is nothing.
Yeah.
So your parents got you a drum kit.
I got
Let
myself
you bang
a drum
around.
kit.
Oh, okay. How old were you?
11, 12.
Okay.
And I saved up it probably took me a year or more to save for the drum sets. And go to drum lessons in Hugo. I had a practice pad is how I played when I was taking drum lessons. Because I wanted drum lessons, rock and roll, and they gave me like put a quarter on your wrists, like drum lessons, back straight.
What's the quarter on your wrist for?
To keep your hands. You want your wrists up when you're
Okay.
drumming, and to practice making sure that your proper wrist technique. And it was like, perfect posture, heel on the ground, which was great. Because I learned how to be a drummer, but it wasn't exactly.
But when you were 12,
drum set, let's do that. And it was like, no, practice pad.
Were you in band in school?
I was homeschooled after 4th grade.
Okay.
And then I went back for middle school, 7, 8, to do band at
Okay.
my old elementary school.
Drums?
Yeah. Yep.
At Clear Lake? Oh, no, Big Lake.
Conway.
Oh, Conway, sorry.
Yep. Well,
okay.
Big Lake was the closest school, but before we moved, we had gone to the preschool that was at the Lutheran church. So I made friends, and then when it was kindergarten, 1st grade, they drove me to Conway every day so I could be with my friends because we were in the Cedro Big Lake School District. But
yeah. So you played drums in school.
So then I went back to Conway, and I brought my drum set, and it was like the coolest thing to everyone because they all had the old, the rentals from Hugo's, the snares, and then I was like, I got a drum set I could bring here and set up, and they were like, do it. So, yeah.
That's great.
And it was also weird because I was like not in any other class. They're just like, where were you the rest of the day? Just show up for the last period.
Oh, you just went for band?
Yeah. And there was some band field trips and stuff I went on and everything. So, yeah.
And then did you go to high school or did you homeschool yourself for high school?
Homeschool / it was like a male school in Vermont or something. So we syllabus got mailed to us, and I mailed the paperwork back and that kind of thing. And then I did Running Start. So I did my last 2 years of high school at Skagit Community College.
Why did your parents choose to homeschool?
I don't know. I think they probably learned about it around when I was about in 4th grade, 5th grade. And I remember we were driving home from school, and she said, what do you guys think about trying homeschool? And we're like, what's that? They explained it to us, and I was like, we stay home and get to do schoolwork? Heck yeah, let's do that.
Because your mom was home?
Yeah.
She was a stay-at-home mom?
She was doing the dog training.
Oh, okay.
So,
and she was at home, yeah.
Yeah, she had the kennels on the farm. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
we have some 25, 30 dogs.
Oh, wow.
At home, yeah, plus all the other animals. So,
so that's the farm that you have now is the home the farm that you grew up on?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, grew up, I went to New York for a while, lived all kinds of places. We were on the road, most of my 20s. And then right before COVID, my parents were retiring and were either going to sell the farm or someone needed to take it over. They weren't going to be there anymore. So my brother and I moved up from Tacoma and moved to the farm. And that was like 6 months before COVID or something. So it worked out. Otherwise, I would have been stuck in the city. Stuck in the city for that whole thing. So
when you were younger, like in your, let's say, late teens, early 20s, did you have this idea of like, I'm never going to like live on a farm?
Oh, yeah. I was like, New York City, let's do it. I want big city. I want tall buildings, loud noises. And yeah, quickly I was like, no thanks. I had like a New York hat that I wore for a while before I left. And I was in the old Hugo Helmer buying something. And someone saw my hat. And they're from New York. And they went, you from New York? And I went, no. And they go, it's a great place to be from. I remember thinking like, man, that's an interesting thing to say, like right before I'm going out there. And then I lived there for a while, and I'm like, yeah, I can relate to that. It's a great place to be from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a good time there, but I grew up on a farm in the country,
Yeah. It's in your blood.
That's where I need to be. Yeah. Yeah. When I moved back to and then, so I was in New York. I lived in Seattle, Bellingham, which isn't a big city, but it's not the farm. And then we were in Tacoma for many years. And so, yeah, when we moved back, it was like, oh, yeah, this is great.
Did
right.
Kim grow up on a farm? Did she know what she was getting into?
Yes. She worked on a farm for a while.
Okay.
Port Townsend, she lived a little outside of the city. It gets rural really
that's where she's
really
from.
quick. Yeah, the peninsula, yeah. So, yeah, country adjacent enough that she knew.
Yeah.
She knew.
Tricked you.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. So this is called?
So Sad.
So Sad.
Comes out September 24th, I believe.
Do you have a kick drum down there?
No.
Do you want me to play the djembe while you're...
Yeah, you do that, and I'll do this part.
Okay. All right.
Say to you that it ain't that bad. You never look so sad. And I think they're coming through. In the end, we're glad. We never wanted to ask. And they say that you knew me way back when. I don't know where it all began. Counting every cent, every dollar that you spent, to retrace the moments in your mind. Wishing on the well, I wish I felt well. We could have used all the time. Lies on the scene, baby, camp serene. Can't take my eyes off those western jeans. Tricks in boots and the cops in suits. Baby, when we make it, we all lose, we all lose. Counting every cent, every dollar that you spent, to retrace the moments in your mind. Wishing on the well, I wish I felt well. We could have used all the time. Heard him say to you that it ain't that bad. You never look so sad. Heard him say to you that it ain't that bad. You never look so sad. Counting every cent, every dollar that you spent, to retrace the moments in your mind. Wishing on the well, I wish I felt well. We could have used all the time.
I like that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because we had that big conversation about your band names. How did you come up with Forest Stoke?
Forest is my middle name.
Oh, okay.
And then Stoke, I was trying to come up with last name things, and that's something Kim came up with that I liked. And
It's English, though.
It's English.
So did you double check?
I double checked. There's
make
obviously
sure.
other forests, and that's, or iterations of that. There's nothing I can do about that. It is a name, and because it's my name, I'm actually a little more legally protected, right? You can't be copyright infringement of your own name.
Got it.
So that is protective, and so it is a name, which is different than a name that you made, right? So, but no, I'm out there just waiting for someone to sue me.
You're like, bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. I've done it once before. Let's do it again. No, yeah, I did obviously spend a lot of time trying to figure that out, but I didn't want to use my name. There's a lot of Zachs already in country folk, like prominent ones, so that's like kind of confusing to try to like throw another Zach in there on the long list of great Zach country and folk artists that are out there right now. There were less forests.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's I guess like what's your ultimate goal? Like, would this be something you're like, I want to do this full time and tour and farm? Or are you like, oh, I'm just gonna put out the album and see what happens?
I kind of I enjoy performing. And I love playing with a band. Playing solo is something brand new that I literally never thought that I would ever do. I had a solo gig 2 years ago. I just started doing this late last summer, so I've been doing it for just about a year now. And I had a gig the year before that, a solo offer, like the Tulip Street Fair. And I was like, I cannot do it by myself. I paid my brother to come play with me because even though it was just me, I could have taken the money and just had it all. I literally did not think I was physically capable of doing it. And that was even stressful just for me to have him come and sing harmonies and be my backup band person. And still I was just like so in my head, and like it was a huge, and then I don't know what happened. Something just clicked and I just started booking solo. I was like, I can play solo actually, and started booking shows, and it was like never an issue.
Wow.
After it being something I would never do.
Crazy.
I played a little bit solo in New York, before the band, when I was living there, and that was the most terrifying thing in my life to try to go up there, and that feeling lingered through the whole band, and then something just changed, and I was like, actually I can.
That's great.
And now I'm doing it. But
Yeah.
But eventually, so all that to say, performing is not my number one most favorite thing to do. I'm an introvert. My brother is the actor and I was the director, and he was the singer and I was the rhythm guitar player. I was never the one who wanted to be out in front, so I enjoy creating the music. I love being in the studio. I have my own studio kind of like this built into our barn that I do my demos in and kind of workshop the songs, and then I take the demos to the studio and we kind of, redo them there. But I love that way more than performing the songs when they're done. Not that I don't enjoy it, but if I had to choose one for the rest of my life, it would be the writing, creating, studio, and then someone else can go play them in front of people.
Do you know Chad Henry and the Setbacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Chad talked about how that's his thing too. He's like, yeah, I'll play live if I have to, but I just want to get all these songs out of me.
Yeah. I enjoy that part, but there is something about the live performance, and I play lead guitar with Kawinka, and I don't really write any solos or anything down. So I do enjoy the time when it's like I get a couple of bars or a couple of minutes sometimes. Like it's just whatever comes, and I get to create live. Similar process, but in the moment, one try, one take, and there's people watching.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the element of live that I really do enjoy, is the improv element of we've got a couple bars to see what's going to happen. We have an incredible bass player, Kaylee, and I love to just walk over to Kaylee and we'll just make some stuff up and see what happens tonight.
Yeah.
What's our 60 seconds going to be tonight or whatever. So
Lastly, I'd like to talk about your podcast.
yeah.
What was this?
I did a history podcast for a while called History is a Joke. It's still out there. And I...
When you were in New York or?
No, just recently, just the last couple of
Oh.
years. Kind of coming out of... It started during COVID, actually, as something to do. And then I kind of kept doing it out of COVID, and I stopped maybe a year or so ago. Just because I had a million projects. I did a movie as well.
You directed a movie?
Yeah. On the farm, we did a movie.
What movie?
It's called Dragons on the Hill. And
Okay.
you can stream it wherever. Ask your TV to pull it up. And so I was finishing. That was feature-length comedy that we shot. Also coming out of COVID. I had a lot of time because the band wasn't doing. We weren't playing shows during COVID, so I had a lot of free time.
I'm just picturing like there's so many people that like. I heard that drinking went up a lot during COVID. People were making sourdough bread, that weird coffee, and you're like, I want to make a full-length feature comedy.
I want to make a movie. We did that largely on the farm. We shot other places in Washington, but did a lot of it on the property. Nathan's in it. He's the star, just like the olden days, shooting movies on the farm.
I think I need to interview Nathan. He seems interesting.
Get him out. So all that to say, I had music. I was starting to do the solo stuff. I was finishing the movie. I was doing the podcast, and I was like, one of these things needs to not happen next year. So the podcast got cut, unfortunately, but it's live. It's out there called History is a Joke. And it was a deep dive into different things in history, either a topic that everyone knew about, and then we'd go way deeper into all the little things that you never knew about it, or we'd choose something that you probably hadn't.
Was it you and Nate that did it?
Nate did one.
Because you're saying we.
So it would be me who'd do the research, and I'd type up, a 10 or 20 page narration. It was a lot of.
I would just type up a 20-page report.
It was COVID. I had a lot of time. It would probably take me like 40 to 50 hours to do one episode. It was like a full work week.
I thought I took a lot of time on these.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I also stopped doing this, because I didn't have a lot of time. It was too work
You're like,
intensive.
it's 50 hours or nothing.
Yeah, or
I
nothing.
Can't.
I tried to do it quicker. That's literally how long it would take. So I would write up this narration and basically tell a story to people, comedians, 2 or 3 that would be listening in. They'd never heard what I was saying. And so they would kind of act like the audience and say, oh, wait a minute, stop. What's this? What does that mean?
And they do riffs on.
And they do
whatever
riffs, and then I'd have little skits I'd write. So sometimes they would be reading like a cold read of a skit that was, emphasizing whatever historical topic where they'd be characters from the story, and then they hadn't read it before, so they'd do that. And it was just like an improv kind of.
So like a
fun
history podcast, but like a comedy history.
Yeah.
Where would you get the comedians from?
All over. I started with people I knew, then I expanded to folks in Seattle. We had a lot of great comedians from Seattle. I was just kind of starting to cold reach out to people and say I'm doing this podcast, and it was a lot of fun. I would do it a lot over Zoom, partially because it was during the pandemic. And so it was hard to engineer over Zoom. You had to rely on the other person to make sure their mic was clear and you're getting a good signal. And so sometimes I'd get pieces back and it'd be kind of a mess. And so that was, if I pick it up again, I'd try to get people into the same room, because that's fun too. Then they're all looking at each other. It's a little different vibe than a panel on a Zoom. You're trying to, riff off each other and work together when you're all not around.
Yeah.
So.
I've had people say they want to try Zoom, and I'm just like, no.
I wouldn't.
Come over.
Yeah. That's what I would like to do too, because it's harder,
I also tried video, and I'm like, no. I just wear your pajamas. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the podcast called?
History's a Joke.
History is a Joke?
I think everywhere.
I'll link it. Don't worry. I'll link that. I'll link your movie.
Great. Yep. Dragons on the Hill.
And then, the main reason you hear your music, I guess I'll link
music. If there's time, link the music. Yep.
So do you just post on all the social media, where you're playing next?
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook.
Since I got married, I need to put my August shows. We're most of the way through the month, and I haven't put that out. But I'm at the Ratatouille thing.
Just put your wedding on the...
Yeah, just a big getting married. Yeah, but I usually have that all on Instagram or wherever. Yeah. People can see where I'm playing.
Well, hey, thanks for coming over. This is really
Yeah,
fun.
thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right.
I appreciate it.